For those of you who are now joining us, this is the FtF Television program, bringing you updates on some of the activities of a grouping of organizations, civil society, under the initiative Facing the Future. In our last episode, we highlighted some of the aspects of knowing the qualities of our candidates, their experience, and their values. We had a forum where we invited the major political parties to tell us how they went about selecting their list of names. So I'm sure you've noticed that in the media there was a lot of attention being placed by the parties, and they're making efforts to describe how they went about making their list. So those of you who have been supporting the FtF signature campaign should feel good that we've drawn attention to the issue, and it just goes to show that if you put your mind to something, you can bring about small changes at a time. This week we want to focus on the imbalance between men and women in the National Assembly. So take a look at some discussions we had with the general public about having more women in the National Assembly.
Yeah, I think women should get a fair chance, 50-50.
Yes, they should at least they both be interact with anything. Yeah, they should be together, like work as a team.
Well, I think so. If not half, it should be, at a higher percentage.
I think it should be raised because women are definitely the stronger sex.
It should be 50-50. I mean, we all should have equal rights.
Yes, I think it should be raised.
There's no reason except tradition that is stopping the majority of Parliament being women. The present rule is that 1/3 of names on the party's list should be female. But there's no obligation by the parties to turn that 30% of names on the list into the seats that they may win after election. So it just reflects an attitude that women are either not wanted, not capable, or simply do not want to be members of the Assembly, which are the kind of attitudes that are demeaning or probably disrespectful. We need to catch up with the greater world. I mean, in countries like Jamaica and South Africa, they have female opposition leaders. In Trinidad, their prime minister is female. In Argentina, they also have a female president. So we're a long way from a political system that we can say truly represents the ordinary people. Let's take a look at the continuation of my chat with Major General Joe Singh, retired, and after which we have some views of some distinguished persons on the topic at our 1st of August launch in the National Park. Rather than having only 1/3 of female candidates on party lists, how about having equal representations of both females and males? From your past expertise to present expertise, I'd like you to comment on some of our reforms that we've proposed. We'll start with having more women on the party list. It was proposed in a past reform that the party list, from my little understanding, comprises of 1/3 female representatives, and if we wanted to increase that to about 50%, what do you think about that?
Well, obviously, there needs to be some attempt at gender parity. I mean, women form 50% of the population. They have expectations, they have concerns. In the rural and hinterland areas, it's the women who invariably are the ones to stand up and speak out, because, well, I suppose for several reasons. One, with the gold surge or the high price of gold, many of the men have migrated to the gold fields. Many of the young males have gravitated. The women, therefore, seem to be the constant figure in the home. In some cases, they're the only breadwinner for single-parent families and so on. From the standpoint of advocacy, they're concerned about their children's education, they're concerned about health issues, about balancing their family budget, about having a future where they can spend more time with their children. They feel safer in their community. They feel that their children can realize their true potential because they have the opportunities, no matter if their circumstances of birth. But they must be that. So yes, I'm a firm advocate for more women, more representative, not just in Parliament, but in the judiciary and the teaching profession. I think they're overwhelming the males already. The university, I think the ratio of females to male is much higher in terms of females. So you're seeing signs that women are no longer being left behind and are, in a sense, empowering themselves, not just the enactment of 1/3 in Parliament. Because there again, one has to ensure that if you're going to have a greater parity, that you have the caliber of persons who are going to be adequate representatives. Because you just don't want the cosmetic exercise with, okay, you have more female faces, but are they in fact doing what they should be doing? Look, I mean, in the business world, you have women who are now CEOs. You have people at the top of their profession. I have no interest in being discriminatory. And, you know, while the maths might be important to some people, I am of the view that whoever can do the job, put them there. Okay?
50% women on the list, names and pictures on ballots, and a closed list instead of an open.
I've argued for, I'm against quotas generally. I thought the affirmative action in the US worked well for a period, but I'm against quotas because I think women in this country have all the opportunities in the world, and they are increasingly taking over many sections. 2/3 of our graduates from university are women. We made a constitutional amendment, 30% on the list, okay, already. People put them on, I just saw the UN ranking on women. We rank in terms of women's participation in the cabinet and in parliament higher than most developed countries in the world. What we want is to make sure that women don't have to take greater position in our society through quotas. By their own quality, they're doing better. If the system is stacked against them, we need to change the system a bit.
We want to know more about our candidates, not just the presidential candidate, but the people in the party and who we're voting for. We want to know more about their qualities, their aspirations and goals for the future, for our country in a whole and so on. That's one of our reforms and one thing we hope to see in their change here in our brochure.
What is it?
You're just supporting our movement, our strive to bring about change in the electoral system that we're hoping to see.
You're committing me to certain things.
Well, on here, and this bookmark here, you see all the things we hope to see change, and it teaches you or it helps you to just to become more aware. It's nothing more than just supporting us.
Okay.
Accumulating signatures for support.
Right now I am in a partnership.
I understand.
And in all fairness to my partners.
I understand.
And because I'm the presidential candidate, I have to show them this before I commit them.
We also have our
I support
campaign.
electoral change.
Yes.
The partnership supports electoral change, but I'm committed to let them know.
I understand.
Because I am their representative.
I hope that clip was stimulating, but here in Guyana, Parliament doesn't work well at all. The reason for this is that citizens don't elect representatives, we vote for parties, who then select persons who will occupy spaces in Parliament. Parliamentarians don't represent the people, they represent what the party leaders tell them to support. So if you have individual parliamentarians, they can't influence decisions because just as they were selected by the party leader, they can be deselected by the party leader. Most people therefore are not interested in Parliament. We need a political system that attracts people who are interested in service. All we need from you as citizens is your support on the petition. You can sign up online by visiting our website, or you can call in to get signature sheets. Our aim is to get at least 10,000 signatures, so don't just sit there. Get up and get signed on. The total number of signatures to date are 5,017. That means we have just passed the halfway mark of our 10,000 target. This represents over 5,000 persons whom we have talked to one-to-one and who are convinced about the need for changes in our electoral system. Our campaign continues, and even after these elections. So don't forget to visit our website www.facingthefuture.com.gy.